In this video, I'm going to be ranking the best value cards right now in NBA 2K25 My Team on a tier list here ranging from S that does go all the way down to D tier, and we have about 35 to 40-ish of the best value cards in this entire game. And what I do mean by a great or best value card is going to be cards that I do think are really good for their price tag. So for example, Dyson Daniels, he's 30,000 MT, right? Maybe even 25k now, and he's like a point guard that can compete against the top tier point guards in this game. So that is to me considered great value. But a Galaxy Opalari marketing, I think he's a little bit overpriced and not really worth his price tag, so I don't think he's a great value card. So in my opinion, these are going to be about 35 to 40 of the best value cards in this game. Some of them maybe not the greatest, they'll be in the D and the C tier category, but in my opinion, these are all of the best value cards in this game. Talking about an amazing value card, like a card that I think is definitely going to be an S tier, is Pink Diamond Dr. J, because he is one of the better shooting guards in this game, especially for his price. He only goes for like 40,000 MT, like he is pretty much a budget card. And you can pick this card up for like 40,000 MT, and he's an amazing shooting guard. 6'7" at the 2, 6'11" wingspan. He's still got good movement. I like his dribble sigs. I like that behind the back. I think his jump shot's really good. He's a great slasher, good enough defender. And yes, he's a Pink Diamond card that came out in season 2, but he is still an amazing shooting guard. I still think he's like a B to A tier shooting guard, and for his price, I do think he's one of the best value cards in this game. I do think he's going to be in that S tier category. Talking about Gerald Wallace, I think he's probably B. He's good for his price. He's a good defender, but I don't think he's one of the best value cards in this game. He's about like 30,000 MT, maybe even cheaper, but I think he's good for that price. I just don't think he's like insanely good value. Talking about Dark Matter Stephon Castle, I think this card is probably A to S tier when we're talking about value, because of the fact that yes, he is expensive, but I do think he's a top 5 point guard in this game, and for only about 300, maybe 350k, depending on when you're looking on the auction house. As of right now in Xbox, I do believe he's around 300,000 MT, and that's not a bad price. Like 300k to get a 6'7" point guard, 6'9" wingspan, who seriously, besides the 100 overall point guards, like if we go look on 2KDB, we go look at the point guards, right? There's Shea. Yes, 100 overall Shea is better. Yes, Penny Hardaway is better. But I think Stephon Castle is better than Devin Booker. I think he's better than Luka Doncic. And those cards are millions and millions of MT. You know, him and Jason Kidd are kind of on the same level, in my personal opinion. So you're looking at a top 5 point guard, in my personal opinion, for 300k. I think that makes him an S tier card, you know, and I think it makes him an S tier value card, because you're getting one of the best cards of their position for 300k. I think that's really good value in my personal opinion. I do think Stephon Castle is going to be in that S tier category. Talking about Matt Barnes, I think he's sort of A. He's really good for his price. He's only 5,000 MT or below, and he's still a very good shooting guard option. He's not S tier anymore, just because there are better shooting guards in this game for a similar price tag. So I do think he's going to be an A tier. Talking about Tyler Hansbrough, I would say, to me, probably another B to A tier card. I would say probably A. I do think he's better than Gerald Wallace, and he's not that much more expensive. He's got a really good jump shot. I do think he's a very solid defender across the board, so I really like Tyler Hansbrough as one of the better value cards in this game. Pink Diamond Victor Wembanyama, I mean, he's still got to be S tier. He is still one of the best centers in this game that is seriously uncontestable. Like, I don't know what it is about Victor Wembanyama this year, but he is uncontestable with his jump shot. Unless you jump, it's going to be wide open. No matter how tall the card is, he can just literally shoot. It almost seems like through people's hands. It does not matter unless you jump and actually block the shot. He's 7'4" with a 7'8" wingspan. The defense is still top tier. And if you guys have played against Pink Diamond Victor Wembanyama, if you guys have used this card, he is just so glitchy and so overpowered. And his price, because of a lot of the market crashes happening, I mean, he's really not that expensive. Like, he might be 200k, 250k, which is a really good price tag, in my opinion, for a 7'4" center with that great of a jump shot. I do think Victor Wembanyama is still going to be in that S tier category. Talking about Dark Matter AK, I think it's a similar conversation to Stephon Castle, but I think AK is even higher in the small forward ranking than Stephon Castle is in the point guard ranking. AK is a little bit more expensive. He's like 400 to 450k, but I seriously think AK-47 is the second best small forward right now in my team, only behind a 100 overall Chris Webber, and I think he's on that same level as a 100 overall Blake Griffin. I think he's sort of on that same level as a Dark Matter Tim Thomas. He is one of the best small forwards in this entire game. and he's only like 400 to 450k. He's cheaper than Tim Thomas, and I do think he's slightly better of a card. He's 6'9" at small forward, 7-foot wingspan. The defense is seriously one of the best in the entire game. He's got almost every single Hall of Fame defensive badge, but where they really made AK great is in the animation screen. That is a top tier jump shot. The Matt Ryan base, Cody Martin upper, on very quick, one of the better catch and shoot jump shots in this game. So AK is one of the best spot ups. He's also got way better dribble sigs with that Trey fade, Jalen Green dribble style, Russell Westbrook size up, Jimmy Butler behind the back. He's got decent movement, and he's one of the best defenders in this game at the small forward position. So I do think AK-47, even though he's expensive, he's one of those like S tier value cards just because of how good he is for his price tag. Now talking about Dante Exum, I mean, he's good, but I think he's more like C tier. He's not a bad value card. He's like 5k and he's good at point guard. He'll do you a job. You know, he'll play good defense. He'll hit a wide open jump shot, but I do think there's a lot of better value cards in my personal opinion. Talking about Pink Diamond Hakeem, I think he sort of ranks in that like B to A tier range. He's super cheap. He's like probably under 20k now, and he's a great power forward or center option. He's 7 foot with a 7'3" wingspan. He still plays solid defense. He's got a capable jump shot, 92 strength, you know, Hall of Fame box out beast, brick wall, paint patroller, post lockdown, pogo stick. So really good badges on a Pink Diamond card, you know, for a card that came out a while ago in season number 2. So yeah, I think Hakeem is probably in that B tier category when we're talking about the best value cards in this game. Talking about Pink Diamond Michael Beasley, easily one of the best value cards in this game, especially now that he's come down in price. This card I think only goes for like 70 to 75k on Xbox, and I don't know if there's a better deal than that in this entire game. A card that can seriously still run the offense on any squad in this game, a card that can seriously compete with any other small forward. And I'm looking on Xbox, but it looks like his price has gone back up. He seems to be about like 90,000 MT. He was about 70k over the weekend, and you know, I think for that price now of still like 90k, he is really worth it, and is definitely one of the best value cards in this game. But if you were able to get him over the weekend, like if you were able to get him Friday, Saturday, this card was as low as 70,000 MT. Even better of a price than he is now, but still, I mean, one of the best offensive cards in this entire game. I seriously think he has the best jump shot in this entire game. So Michael Beasley, for me personally, easily going to be in the S tier category. I think Rocco has a strong conversation for S. I do think he's probably high A tier. I don't think he's as good as the cards in S. Maybe for his price tag, he probably is S tier value wise, just because he's only like 5 to 10k, and his defense is seriously amazing. He's a 6'9" shooting guard. He's pretty much just a better Matt Barnes in my personal opinion. Not as good of a jump shot, but way better defensively. So I do think Rocco is going to be in that high A tier category. Talking about Pink Diamond Kristaps, again, I think he's very high A. He's another really good tall center, just like Victor Wembanyama. He's 7'2" with a 93 3 ball, has good Hall of Fame shooting badges, a good jump shot. I think Kristaps is really good for his price. He's only like 40 to 50k. I think he's definitely worth that price tag. Talking about Antoine Jameson, I would say he's sort of on that same ranking as a Gerald Wallace. They're both good small forward options. Like, you know, they'll do a job. Jameson does have a good jump shot. Antoine's good defensively. Like, he's definitely a solid card. I think he's kind of in that B tier category. Talking about Pink Diamond Zach Edey, I'm probably going to put him in C. I know he's 7'5" with a 7'10" wingspan, and he's super cheap. He's like 20 to 30k. I know he's 7'5" with a 7'10" wingspan, but he only has 60 speed, 57 agility. You know, he's definitely a good value card, but I just think he's on the lower end of this tier list. Gonna have him in that C tier category. Talking about Pink Diamond Ware, I don't think he's that like easily best value card in the game like he used to be, but I do think he's seriously one of the best value cards. I mean, the jump shot's amazing, the defense is top tier. I think Ware is going to be in that A tier category. Talking about Carlos Boozer, same tier as Tyler Hansbrough. I think he's going to be an A. Both are really good at the small forward position, and I also do like Boozer more, and he's also a cheaper price on the auction house. So to me personally, I think he's a slightly better value card than Tyler Hansbrough. Talking about Jaren, I think he's probably also an A tier. I mean, that card's great defensively, and he's come down quite a bit in price. Unless he's gone back up, I mean, the market sort of has been rising back up, you know, since the weekend where the market did crash a lot. But Jaren Jackson Jr. on Xbox, I'm looking right now, he looks to be about 75k. 70,000 MTs is actually went up for on Xbox. So that's a really good price for Jaren. He's still great defensively, has a really good jump shot. Really do like this Galaxy Football Triple J card. Rudy Gay, I think probably maybe B tier. I think he's sort of on that same ranking as like a Gerald Wallace and an Antoine Jameson. I do think he's really good for his price, but I do think cards like Carlos Boozer and Tyler Hansbrough are just going to be that slightly better. Chet is really good for his price. I think, again, very similar to Stephon Castle and AK-47. You get one of the best cards of their position. I think Chet is still one of the best dark matter power forwards in this entire game. and he's only going for about maybe like 450k on Xbox, maybe 500k at the most. And I think for that price tag, Dark Matter Chet is absolutely amazing, so I do think he's going to be an S tier. Dyson Daniels, I would say, is also S. I mean, that card can compete with Stephon Castle, and he's like 25,000 MT. He is so good for his price, maybe one of the best value cards in this entire game. Talking about Larry Markkinen, like I said, is probably one of the worst value cards in my personal opinion. I just don't think he's worth his price tag. George Gerving is really good. I would go like high A tier for George Gerving. I don't know if he's S tier, but I do think for his price, yes, he's a little bit pricey. He's 100,000 MT, but I do think he's actually really good for that price, and I think he's a super underrated shooting guard. He is very complete of a shooting guard card, but I do think Dr. J is probably still a little bit better and also is going to be a lot cheaper. Dino Raja, to me, one of the best value cards in this game. I mean, that card is so good at the power forward position. I think he's on that same level as a Chet, you know, as other power forwards in this game that we'll talk about. I think his defense is great. I really like his jump shot, and overall, I think Dino is an absolute beast. Talking about Jonathan Bender, I think, you know, he's 7 foot at small forward. He's got a really fast jump shot. I still feel like you have to put Jonathan Bender in B tier. Cade, I would say, is probably also B. I would say Caruso is probably also B as well. The thing with Caruso is he's kind of overpriced a little bit. That card should be cheaper, but I do think Caruso is really good at the point guard position. He's great defensively. I like the card's jump shot, but I do think he's going to be in B tier. I would say Tyson Chandler, for me personally, is going to be an A. I mean, the card can compete with cards like Jaren Jackson Jr., Khalil Ware, Kristaps, right? All of these big man cards, but he goes for 5,000 MT, so he's even a lot cheaper than some of those options. So I do think personally, Tyson Chandler is going to be an A tier. I think Ricky Davis is also an A. He's super cheap, just like Dr. J, but I do think he's a little bit more expensive, and I do think Dr. J is still slightly better. I think DeAndre Jordan is great, but if you're not running the dynamic duo with Jamal Crawford, I think he's probably going to be in B tier. David Robinson, I think he's high A. I think Chet's better at, you know, I'm going D-Rob and S. I love this card, man. I think him and Chet are very close at the power forward position, but I do think D-Rob is slightly better in my personal opinion. I think Ron Artest, he's also going to be in the S tier category. I mean, these Dark Matters are really expensive, but I think they're really worth their price and are some of the best value cards in this game. Frank Kaminsky probably going to be in C tier. Jonathan Isaac, I'll probably go B. I still think he's one of the best defenders in this game, but that jump shot is just kind of really hard to time. Terry Dischinger, he's going to be an A tier as well. I think he's very close to the S tier category. He's only like 125k, but he has a really good jump shot. The card SIGs are amazing. I do really like this Dark Matter Terry Dischinger card. I think Vlade Divac is probably, I would say, high B tier in my personal opinion. I think Eddie Curry is going to be an A tier. And then I do think Amari Caspi is probably going to be in that B tier category. So in my opinion, guys, these are all of the best value cards right now in my team. Cards that I just think are really good for their price, and cards that I would definitely recommend you guys picking up. This is going to be my S tier, my A tier, my B tier, my C tier, and my D tier category. But let me know in the comment section down below if there's any other really good value cards that I missed on this tier list, and I'll let you guys know where I do think they rank. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.